second half of the NFL season is here, and those young QBs are putting on a show. But who's the best team? This is when we separate the pretenders from the contenders. And you can follow that story every Sunday with the NFL on CBS.
The NFL season is wrapping up. There's only 1 week left for us lucky fans. And hey, maybe you didn't win your fantasy league, but DraftKings is still here to help you make it rain.
DraftKings is America's leading daily fantasy app, paying over $7 billion out to their players. If you haven't tried the DraftKings app yet, head over to the App Store now and use the code SMOKE.
It's simple. Just pick your lineup, stand in the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition.
Let's also not forget that basketball season is in full swing, and DraftKings has us covered with millions in prizes up for grabs.
If you haven't signed up, what are you waiting for? Get in the game right from your couch.
Download the DraftKings Fantasy app now and use the code SMOKE. For a limited time, new customers get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes. Don't miss out. That's code SMOKE.
Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for more details.
Welcome back, man. Season 2 of All the Smoke.
We got a real special guest.
What's up with your Brody with the virtual handshake?
I'm going to tell y'all something that I never told nobody.
I want all the smoke.
Welcome back to All the Smoke, the end of the year 2020 rundown. Man, 2020 has been crazy, Jack, to say the least.
Been a crazy one, but we still here, my brother.
We're still, for a real reason. Unfortunately, one of the things I had a good time doing last year was the Christmas tree skit with you trying to hop the fence and me smelling trees and you cutting that bitch crooked. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic and California being shut down, we're not going to be able to Christmas tree hunt this year, but it's still going to be a good holiday.
Yeah, man, as long as everybody's healthy, everybody's happy, I think that's the biggest thing. It's been a tough year, but I think we're going to end it off on a happy, healthy, joyous note, and we can't cut the trees, but, we got a lot of good stuff coming for the new year.
Absolutely. So, we got started late in 2019, came out the gates screaming in 2020. Just a list who we had out the gates to take our fans back. We came out the gates with Kobe, rest in peace. Obviously, we're going to get to him in depth. Kerry Champion, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Kevin Garnett, DeMarcus Cousins, Jamil Hill, AI, Snoop, Paul Pierce, Shannon. The list was incredible, man. When I think back and read that and just kind of process all that, it's crazy to think that we've had all these people and much more, many people we didn't name, on our show the first year. Man,
to start off like that, I think, it was a blessing. But it showed also not only the support we had, but how a show like this was needed, right. Because so many people wanted to come on our show and say things that they couldn't say on other platforms. So I also thank them, but I think everybody needed our show as well.
I've been doing a lot of other people's podcasts, kind of since our stuff taken off. And the one thing that I didn't even realize, because like I said, we were doing it because we just wanted to get out here and talk our shit, is we're kind of opening doors for other people. Brandon Marshall spoke on that. We're kind of paving the way for real, fun, in-depth and serious at times, but great conversation from two people that don't really hold anything back. And I think the respect we have, obviously, from our guests, but our ability to make our guests feel comfortable and talk to us like we're not on camera. I think that's been kind of like our secret sauce.
Yeah, it's been beautiful, man. You don't have to wear a mask on our show. Me and you are two guys. What you see is what you get with us. We wear our emotions on our sleeves, so we don't hide nothing. People know we being real authentic. So people, they love to come on the show and be their authentic selves, and I think that's what we welcome.
Yeah, although this remote is kind of cool, I prefer, obviously, the in-person, just because once you come to the studio, whether it be in Santa Monica or in New York, you feel the vibe. You hear the music, you see the food, you see the smoke in the air, you see us going back and forth with our team. Sometimes our guests come and pre-party with us and just kind of catch. I think the energy we set from the rip allows people to realize, okay, I'm just here to kick it. This isn't let me stick a microphone in my face type talk. This is damn, we're just going to talk like there is no cameras. And I think humanizing our guests and them opening up that much to us has been, the reason for our success. Outside of us being kind of low-key dope.
You hear a lot of guys that we did doing the remote shows always say, man, I still got to come in the studio because they want that vibe. That vibe in the studio is unmatched, man. And me personally, I love it too because I love being able to sit there, spend a little time with our crew, talk, talk to them, vibe with them and shoot the show. I just like being in the studio sometimes. So when our guests come there, I know they catch that same vibe as well.
Absolutely. But let's track. I mean, obviously, like I said, we came out the gate strong in 2020. Unfortunately, we're going to start with our brother Kobe, who on January 26th, along with Gigi and a handful of other passengers, were lost in a tragic helicopter accident, man, 15 minutes from my house. It was heartbreaking. But I think the one thing that was special was we were one of his last interviews, if not his last interview. And, kind of being able to reflect on that and have him open up the way he did for everyone else to see our interaction we had with them and what the vibe and energy was like. I was glad we were able to bring that to our fans.
Yeah, man, I'm getting emotional now thinking about it, man. I just admire Kobe so much, from a kid to a grown man, man, and just to get the love from him, the time for the interview, and just to know how proud he was of us, bro. I think every time I just think about him, I get emotional because, like I said, I admired him so much, and for him to tell us that he was proud of us, man, for what we were doing, what everybody expected us not to be doing, I think that meant a lot to me. And I know our fans appreciate, the conversation we had with him as well. We'll be able to talk about Jordan and other things like the McDonald's game, too.
The McDonald's game, you had to sneak that in there. You were like a kid in a candy store when we left that shit. You had all the new colors. You had the whole new color. You asked for it and got it. Your begging section, that was the fastest begging section turnaround we've ever had in the history of All the Smoke.
Well, you know what? I should have ended it there because everybody else just led me on. You know what I'm saying? Kobe the only one that listened to me, man. He listened to me. He felt my pain, and he made it happen on site, man. That's a moment. I'm glad we was able to get the footage, man. You see I posted on my page. That's stuff I'm going to hold on to, bro.
Actually, too, shout out Rita, too. Rita
we love Rita.
A great woman. She was kind of the person that made that happen, and it was a tough time for her too, because she had decided after living in LA and working and transporting back and forth for Kobe that she was actually going to retire from working with Kobe, and they were like family. Rita's been around for a long time, so I know that part was already hard on her, and then to see what happened, so I think it's always good we check in on her and see how she's doing. She sent us some pictures on the year anniversary. We shot the show, which wasn't too long ago. But big shout out to Rita. We love you. We appreciate you.
We love you, Rita.
We're here for you.
Thank you.
Rest in peace to Kobe, Gigi, and everyone else who was lost on that flight. Transitioning to there, it was a somber moment at the All-Star game, which wasn't long after that, but that's when we made our debut as our first in-studio show, which was crazy. We were fortunate enough to have Kevin Garnett, who's, I still to this day, like, his energy when he spoke, and even back in the green room before we were getting ready to go, like, gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. To me, that was one of my favorite interviews.
Man, like, Matt, these are guys that we competed against, but we looked up to. You know what I'm saying? So to sit down to them, to hear some of the things that he was thinking about, some of the combos, and then again, every time we sit with one of the guys, they give us our props, and to get props from guys you look up to from your big brothers, it means a lot, bro. And that's just motivation to us.
And what did KG say? I need some of them more
pre-rolls. He needs some of them pre-rolls you had.
He needs some of them MB 7-leaf pre-rolls. We got you, KG, man. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Good shit. That's that blue slush.
Yeah, nice.
But anyway, man, like I said, I think it was great. Fun energy, fun crowd to be able to do it where he played high school ball at and be at the All-Star game. The one thing that tripped me out was, obviously we got love and respect as players, but when we went into the All-Star game, the energy and focus on us was like, I was like, that's when I kind of realized we had made it, because motherfuckers were yelling all the smoke from the stands. The fans were, the media swarmed us like we had just made the All-Star game. Like, that was kind of the surreal kind of like coming to it, because to keep it real, I love doing this podcast, but I'm not really entrenched in the podcast space. I don't really understand the magnitude of how big podcasts are, but that was kind of like a damn, like, people are fucking with us. Like, they're yelling all the smoke from the stands. Like, not even, some were yelling our name, but people were just yelling all the smoke. And I'm like, yo, we've arrived, bro.
Walking into that arena felt like the year after we beat Dallas, how it was in San Francisco. Felt like rock stars. Everybody was screaming all the smoke. Even the
players. Some of the players were talking
exactly.
about it too. Yeah.
Exactly how the players was, even they were on their way to practice. Every player made their way to come back and speak to us and how they love the show, want to be on the show. So, man, whatever we doing, you know what I'm saying, we got to keep it going to our team, man. Whatever direction y'all got us going, man, let's keep going in this right direction, because that I have to agree with you on that, Matt. The All-Star game, let me know that what our show was doing was what everybody wanted.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. The NFL season is wrapping up. There's only 1 week left for us lucky fans. And hey, maybe you didn't win your fantasy league, but DraftKings is still here to help you make it rain.
DraftKings is America's leading daily fantasy app, paying over $7 billion out to their players. If you haven't tried the DraftKings app yet, head over to the App Store now and use the code SMOKE.
It's simple. Just pick your lineup, stand in the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. Jack, we're at the end of the year, man. We've been talking about players that have been doing their thing all year. Who are some of the guys we haven't mentioned?
Man, Stephon Diggs, we haven't talked about him enough. Leading the league in receptions and yards. He's been dominant. You got to keep your eyes on this guy. He's having a great year.
Someone I'm excited to see get an opportunity is Jalen Hurts. Carson Wentz, to me, hasn't really done much. He got the big contract, but if you look at it, Foles won the Super Bowl for him. Now Jalen Hurts has stepped up, 4 touchdowns in his first start. So I'm excited to see what kind of energy he can pump back into that Philadelphia team.
Let's also not forget that basketball season is in full swing, and DraftKings has us covered with millions in prizes up for grabs.
If you haven't signed up, what are you waiting for? Get in the game right from your couch.
Download the DraftKings Fantasy app now and use the code SMOKE. For a limited time, new customers get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes. Don't miss out. That's code SMOKE.
Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for more details. So then All-Star Game, we head into the shutdown in the world, which was crazy because I was in New York working for ESPN that particular day, and we start hearing COVID. The president is kind of downplaying. No one's really taking it serious, and I literally was on the air that morning on First Take, and I think Get Up, when the NBA had canceled the season, and then it was almost like a domino effect of the world shutting down. You know what I mean? So it was just an interesting time. Never thought in my lifetime we would be in a situation where kind of a pandemic has not at that time was on the way of ravaging our country and killing hundreds of thousands of people. So we're kind of locked up dealing with that. And then we run into in May, your brother, someone you've known for over 20 plus years, was, his life was taken by some punk ass cops. And from there, I don't think even you saw this coming, but you were the face of movement that shook the world. 50 states, 16 to 18 countries, correct me if I'm wrong, and the biggest protest in the history of the world, the United States for sure. I know it's a tough topic, but take it back, because actually today is kind of special too. You're doing something for his daughter, but take us back to May when all this broke loose.
Well, what was funny was when you was working ESPN when everything shut down, I was in New York too doing something with Gary Payton. So we both was in New York at the same time.
Yep,
and we both flew back, during the same time, and that was crazy. But it was just a crazy time, man. It took us all off, caught us all off guard. We've seen a lot of police brutality going on in the last couple of years. We've seen the war against the black man going on for a while, but nobody ever thought it would be somebody who they call a twin. Nobody thought it would be, you never really take it that serious till it hit your doorstep, and that's sad to say. But to get to know and to see somebody who I was real close to, the only person I consider my twin in this whole world, it changed my life, and I'll be the first to say it. It changed my life in a lot of ways, as far as the way I think, the way I move, religion-wise. A lot of things has changed. I've taken on the role of being a father to his daughter, and being a brother to her mother, and it's made me a better person, because the things that are important in life and things that are important to other people, I'm caring about, and I'm putting other people, opinions and feelings, before mine. Even when I went to Minnesota to speak up for my brother, leaving that courthouse, I saw so many other older women whose sons have been taken from police brutality and things like that, but they didn't have a voice. So I ended up being their voice. So my life has changed completely, dog. But I'm happy it did change. And like you said, today is something special. It's Gianna's birthday. And we're doing something big. Happy birthday to Gigi. We're flying out to Atlanta and doing a big surprise birthday party for her that she has no idea about. So,
dope.
And with no applause, man, I'm my brother's keeper. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep my word. if something had happened to you, God forbid, I would do the same thing for you, bro. So, and I know you would do the same for me. So,
Right.
I think God don't make mistakes, man. Everything happens for a reason. But the good thing about it is we are getting changed. You know, they're changing laws. They're changing the no knock. The no-knock warrants. They're changing the chokehold, the way they arrest people, and when people start to resist. So it's a lot of stuff that has changed, but we have a long way to go, man. And I commend you too for doing your part as well, because I didn't just get this done by myself. I had brothers like you who supported me. It's a lot of NBA players, bro, that didn't get behind me because they was worried about losing things. But one thing about you and Showtime were the first people to call me to support me and get behind me. So I'm forever down with y'all, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and it was special, you know, as your friend, as your brother, to kind of sit and watch you do your thing. And I think you found your calling, you know what I mean? To be able to see how passionate you are about these people, how much you care about these people, how your boots on the ground with these people, but then actually getting a chance, you know, a little while ago to go out there with you in Memphis and really see the joy it brings to you and how passionate you really are about this and your goal to touch all 50 states and really try to make a difference. I think it's beautiful, man. So I definitely commend you on your new space. I think you're a new person. You've hit on it. You know what I mean? You're on your religious thing. You're on your educational thing. And you're a real leader and a pillar in the community and a voice for the people. And I think that's kind of a somewhat of a new role for both of us with this platform.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
Like what we say now, like we really have to watch what we're saying, because like we are a voice or a pair of voices now for our culture, who people lean on and turn to address not only sports but life. And I think that's what's beautiful, is because we're so much more than athletes. Obviously, we made our way and got here because of basketball, but we're men first and foremost. And to be able to see all the other stuff that obviously that we're passionate about, that we can directly have a hand in changing, is special. You know, so we're not there. It didn't take us. We didn't get here overnight. We're not going to get out of here overnight. But I definitely feel like we're heading in the right direction.
So since we're talking about that, didn't you say you got admirations of being a male one day too?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the goal.
I'm gonna keep that in your mind. I don't want you to forget about that, bro.
Oh, come on, no, that's not going nowhere. You know what I mean? Like I said, when you were in the streets, you know, I was up here at the state capitol in Sacramento talking to politicians in Sac, talking to politicians in LA, meeting with the Black Caucus, you know, being a part of getting the George Floyd Justice and Policing Bill Act out and known and visual, and getting that in your mind, and the things, the no-knock warrants, the chokeholds, lynching, police immunity, all that kind of stuff. Like that was the kind of, I was doing the kind of the political side of it, you know, and then, you know, me being able get a chance to talk to Biden and ask him the tough questions about the 94 crime bill and his plan if he is elected president to right his wrongs. You know what I mean? All that kind of stuff is important to me, just as it important is to you to be in the streets is that important to me. Right. It was so far away from me. I knew I had to do something. So that was kind of my way of giving back. But I think, like I said, you did what you did, I did what I did, but it was we had the same goal, the same mission, you know, which is change and bettering our people. We had a lot of dope guests. The NBA decided to go to the bubble, and we'll get there, but, you know, we started doing this remote shit. And we had some amazing guests. Yeah, like you said, I mean, all the remote guests, I want to say at least 90% of them said, like, yo, I want to come in studio. And so I want to just shout out our remote guests real quick. So bear with me. We had Chris Paul. We had Deion Sanders, primetime, one of my favorite humans. We had Little Wayne. J.R. Ryder has some crazy stories for us. You know, my man Pac-Man Jones.
My boy Pac.
Coach Mark Jackson. The Rookie of the Year, John Morant. OG Gary Payton, great session with Draymond Green, man. Session with Draymond Green. That was one of my favorite ones. Who else do we have? We had John Wall, Trae Young, John Wall, Steve Nash, Jason Tatum, Penny Hardaway,
Jamie Foxx.
Yep, Jamie Foxx, T-Mac, Vince Carter, Bradley Beal, King Griffey Jr. You know, like the list. Earl Spence Jr. The list was crazy. Charlo twins. I mean, it's hard to name all of them, but like you said, it's crazy that now first we had to kind of go find people. Now, like, people really want to come on our show. And I just think it's the tip of the cap to you and obviously what we're doing as a team, because like I said, they knew us as players, and we've been able to move in this space and carry ourselves and still be about our morals and principles and succeed in a media space that's nasty. You know what I mean? Like you see Kyrie doesn't really want to talk to the media, and I feel that, although it's his obligation and they're probably going to play games and try to find him. Like the media has kind of always been like, kind of a bad analogy because as players we're not criminals, but like criminals talking to cops. You know what I mean? Like they're like, we really didn't fuck with the media. And I think that what we're doing, and shout out to the knuckleheads and Q and D Miles, we're starting to show people like, yo, we can tell our stories and paint our pictures and change the narratives that for so long that we just had to live with. And that's why I'm so thankful for Showtime and All the Smoke and having you as a partner, is because like we're showing people that like, okay, hey, shit, if they could do it, why can't we do it? And that's what we want to see, because we need to see more people like us in our space telling our stories, because everyone else has always told our stories with their paintbrushes.
Yeah, when we first started recording during the pandemic and going remote, man, listen, I was getting so many calls from other shows and other people asking, hey, man, what template y'all using? Y'all using Zoom? Like, what y'all doing? Y'all doing this? Like everything. Shout out to Showtime, because we had all this stuff from the jump, but everybody was calling. Man, how y'all doing y'all show now? So, we really stepped it up. Salute to the team. We really stepped it up during that time, man. I think that time where everybody was sitting at home with nothing to do, we gave them entertainment. You know what I'm saying? We gave them information. We gave them tears. We gave them laughs. We gave them everything during that time when they couldn't leave the house, and I think everybody was tuned in.
No, I completely agree. It was what was needed at the time. And then, kind of almost fast-forwarding to the bubble, which I think was good for us too, because you and I, and we've talked about it before this even hit, we can agree but still respect each other. We can agree without disrespecting each other, because you were against the bubble for your reasons. I was for the bubble for my reasons. We talked it out. We talked it on the show. We talked about it on other shows. But we had a complete, for our experience, like you're on the ground. I mean, you see, that there's much more obviously important things than basketball. But then for me, what I'm doing and connecting and realize we need to get our voice and our message out, and no bigger platform to do it than the NBA, that's why I was pro. You know what I mean? So we went back and saw each other's side and respected each other's side. And, to me, the bubble was a success. Outside of seeing great basketball, they continue to push the envelope. They continue to push their messages. Now we got their owners doing stuff, and I think there's still more good to come out of them going out there and playing. But like I said, it was just one time where this is something completely new. Like the world was in shambles. And basketball coming back was really a big debate, and people were mad that the guys went back and played, and they were called certain things. But to me, I think at the end of the day, looking back, I think they made the right decision. I think we made a good decision by supporting them and helping people understand the bigger picture of what's going on. And then, just as important is your movement. I mean, like your movement hasn't stopped. You know what I mean? Like you said, your goal was to hit all 50 states. So just because the season stopped and now it's about to start, you've been in motion the whole time with your movement and continuing to push your word along with the rest of the people.
And then nobody I love and respect more than you, bro. And one thing I've learned from you, it's always two ways to look at things. And I've always been open to learn. Even when we sit down, with B or Eric or anybody shows, I'm still learning from people. So I understood that even though I felt the way that I felt, you know what I'm saying? I understand it's a different side to look at it. And as time passed, I understood what you meant because I seen it. It actually happened. Them being in the bubble and LeBron them doing it got worldwide attention. So I was able to understand that because I seen it. But, at the end of the day, it's a sensitive subject. It's real sensitive because a lot of people think it's so easy to get equality. It's so easy. Really, it is when you just treat people how you want to be treated and don't look at color. So it really is easy. But at the same time, so much has been built up. So much has been built up, and so much hate has been created, towards people that just treating somebody the way you want to be treated is not good enough some more. You have to knock so many walls down. So, but we gonna do it, man. We gonna do it together.
No, definitely. And like you said, it's as simple as that. And I had a situation with the boys when I was talking to them about, George Floyd, and a white cop killed a black person, and then I asked the boys, are you born hating or are you taught to hate? And they kind of pondered for a second. I don't remember what one said, and they're like, you're taught to hate, right? I'm like, absolutely, just like you're taught to love. And then one was like, well, we're going to have to teach Ashton how to love. And that's really, like you said, it's really, although Ashton is crazy and tries to fight everyone, it's really that simple. It's what you pour into that cup, especially as children, and it starts as young as children. You know what I mean? So for us to make any kind of change, man, we have to erase, color's always going to be, you're not saying erase color, but just erase those barriers. Like at the end of the day, we're human. And that's the only way we're going to move forward. And it sounds simple, but like you said, just hundreds of years of built-up hate for no reason has slowed down the process. But I definitely think we're heading in the right direction. Man, we kicked off season 2 and picked up where we left off. In season 2, we've been acquiring a few accolades here and there. We've been nominated for, we won Best Athlete-Generated Content from a publication. We've been nominated for a few more, so it's kind of, to me, it's gratifying. It's like people are kind of starting to recognize us, and I think the more people tune in and get to know us, the more those kind of accolades will come. But it's been fun to kind of see, like, here and there, like, oh, like you got nominated over at Spotify or iHeart or all these different places. Obviously, shout out iHeart and Black Effects for our partnership. But it's fun, like, to kind of sit back and see our hard work being recognized.
Man, it's just an honor to be in the same category with names like the Barstool, the Ringer, Colin Cowherd, all of them. It's an honor to be in the same category with these guys. But one thing we got to remind the guys at the studio: by the time we get back in studio, make sure there's some champagne there, because we're gonna have some more stuff to celebrate.
Absolutely, man. We want to continue to build. We want to add new parts to our show. New segments, we're in talks to teaming up with a couple other companies to kind of expand our viewership in the type of the age demographic. So we're continuing to try to evolve this show to really, because we feel like we have something to say. So as many eyeballs and as ears as we can get on it, I think the better. So the best is definitely yet to come. We're closing out the year with some big hitters. That Paul George episode people were waiting for, and thank you, obviously, Paul. He took some heat from the interview, but to me, people want to know what's going on inside of our heads, and then when we tell you, you give the players shit, which always trips me out. But I don't think, obviously, that's going to stop our guests from continuing to tell their truths, which we love. But we got a nice lineup. We started with Paul George, we got DeMar DeRozan, we got Rondo. The Amari Stoudemire interview was a blast to me. Mike Rappaport. Jim Gray and the stories he was telling, awesome. Man, I was hypnotized. That was one of those interviews where I kind of lost my place, because this guy is telling us legendary stories about his first interview with Muhammad Ali and interviews with Mike Tyson and integral details between Shaq and Kobe, man. So make sure you guys check that Jim Gray episode coming out soon. Shout out to little homie Kelly Oubre. He was someone actually we just dropped too. He's with the Warriors now. So we've had a good close out to the year, and like I said, I think 2021, not only for this show but for the world, is going to be better. The sun wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for the rain, and it seems like although it hasn't been, it's literally been raining the whole 2020. But like you said earlier, man, we made it out. The sun is going to rise in 2021, and we're going to be on the horizon.
Man, one thing about it, PG wasn't worried about the heat, because he had a $200 million fan coming his way.
Talk to him.
Believe that.
Talk to him.
He real cool right now.
The 200. You can say whatever you want about that.
But shout out to Jim Gray, though. Man, I'm talking about for him to come on our show, for him to talk about the brawl, and me having me in his book. I think just having him on the show and how much he admired our show and what we doing. For legends like that to come on our show, one thing, but to give us our flowers too at the same time, man. It was just a great feeling.
Well, to me, that's the best part, because like I said, we know of Jim Gray, and I've always respected him. And then obviously with most of our guests, we're friends with them or know them. But, once we start digging and getting to, like, that's when you really find out who they are. And that's still exciting to me. Like, I didn't realize the caliber of legend that Jim Gray is. You know what I mean? With all the awards and accolades and his span of being able to have players trust them for as long as they have, like I said, which is very
Right.
hard to do, starting with Muhammad Ali. But if Muhammad Ali stamps you, you shouldn't have no problem. You know what I mean? So that was a great
Right.
episode. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. So looking 2021, man, we just hope to continue to bring you guys the best of us, obviously. We're rocking with merch now, so you're going to have our merch. We're going to do some cool stuff to get like our real fans involved. I don't know, Jack, maybe do like an All the Smoke tattoo contest or something, because I'm ready to get it
Nice.
tatted on. We down for life. So we're going to be really creative
down.
and outside the box in 2021. Hopefully the world will start coming back to some sort of normalcy so we can start doing contests to have you guys shadow us for the day or come up to the studio. So we really want to start opening up these doors and showing you what it's like behind the scenes and keeping you encouraged and engaged. We continue to hope to raise the bar and have meaningful conversations in 2021 with some of your guys' favorite people. So, you know, down below when you see this, tag who you want to see in 2021. I know I want to see, who are some of the people you want to see? I'm going to start thinking of my list. So who are some of the people you want to target for 2021?
I definitely want to see Regina Hall on the show, first and foremost.
Happy birthday. I think it was just her birthday, right? Happy birthday.
Yeah. Well, I got a gift for you too. Also, I want to see more rappers, man. I want to see 50 Cent.
Yeah.
I want to see Jay-Z. I want to see, I want to see Kendrick Lamar. I want to see even some of the young rappers, Lil Baby, Migos. So I want to get the younger generation on this year.
I'm with that. The Dr. Dre's. I want to see Magic Johnson. I want to see Obama. I want to talk to Biden. I want to talk to more women. You know, we've only talked to a hand.
Tamika Mallory. We got to get Tamika Mallory.
You got to get Tamika on there. You know, I want to talk to athletes. I want to talk to social justice fighters. I want to talk to actresses. I want to talk to female MCs. I want to talk to Cardi B, Nicki Minaj. Who else is out there right now? Sweetie.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Well, I want to talk to people like that because, like I said, I think we have our fan base now, and our fan base is rocking with us. So, I want to keep it fresh. So whether it's athletes, musicians, actors, social justice fighters, whoever it is, I think we could bring a good conversation to the table. So, man, we appreciate all the love and support. 2020 has been some shit. We've lost some real important people, but like I said, 2021 is on the horizon. The sun is coming out, and all the smokers are going to be there to lead the way. So we love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we'll see you guys next year.
Yes, sir.
TV taught me how to dream.